The year 1990 bore witness to a crime so grotesque, so incomprehensible, that its shadow lingered for decades, haunting not only the public but also the corridors of power within the Palm Beach County State Attorney's Office. Marlene Warren, a vibrant soul, met her tragic end at the hands of a figure clad in the macabre guise of a clown, a murder that defied explanation and eluded justice for years to come. In the present day, Dave Aronberg, the incumbent state attorney, reflected somberly on the enduring allure of the case, musing, "It's easy to see why this case has so much interest. Who isn't afraid of a killer clown?" His words underscored the gravity of the situation, emphasizing that this was no random act of violence, it was a deliberate, calculated assassination. For Joe Arens, then just 21 years old, the memories of that fateful day remained etched in his psyche with the clarity of a nightmare. Recounting his mother's virtues, he spoke with a mixture of reverence and sorrow, affirming, "She was a good mother, everything she did, she took pride in." The morning of May 26, 1990, had begun like any other, bathed in the promise of a new day. Yet, in an instant, the tranquility shattered as Marlene's life was cut short by a single gunshot, fired by a clown bearing balloons and flowers. Joe's recollection faltered as he revisited the scene, recounting the chaos and panic that ensued, the desperate struggle to save his mother's life. As Marlene fought for every precious breath, Joe's world spiraled into darkness, his anguish compounded by the cruel irony of the clown's parting gifts, balloons adorned with mocking messages of adoration. Despite his valiant efforts to apprehend the assailant, the clown vanished into the ether, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and shattered lives. In the days that followed, the investigation yielded tantalizing clues, including Joe's description of the clown, a towering figure with orange hair and big brown eyes. Suspicion soon fell upon Sheila Keene, a woman rumored to be entangled in a clandestine affair with Marlene's husband, Mike Warren. As the web of circumstantial evidence tightened around Keene, investigators uncovered a trove of incriminating details, a discarded white Chrysler LeBaron matching witness descriptions, fibers and hairs linking Keene to the crime scene, and eyewitness accounts placing her at the scene of the purchase of clown paraphernalia. Yet, amid the mounting evidence, doubts lingered, and the wheels of justice ground slowly. The complexities of the case, compounded by technological limitations and conflicting testimonies, cast a pall of uncertainty over the pursuit of truth. As the years passed, the case grew cold, its resolution slipping ever further from grasp. Marlene's murder remained a specter haunting Joe's life, driving him to the brink of despair as he grappled with the absence of closure and the burden of unanswered questions. But even as hope waned and despair threatened to consume him, Joe's resolve remained unyielding. In the depths of his darkest moments, he clung to the conviction that justice would prevail, that the truth would emerge from the shadows and bring solace to his shattered soul. For Joe Arens, the journey toward justice was far from over. With each passing day, his determination burned brighter, a beacon of hope in the relentless pursuit of closure. And in the face of adversity, he remained steadfast, his faith unshakable in the belief that, one day, justice would be served. The final chapter, a plea deal and a long-awaited end. As the wheels of justice turned slowly in the case of Marlene Warren's murder, they often seemed to grind to a halt. After 27 years of waiting for an arrest, Sheila Keene Warren's trial faced repeated delays. By 2022, she had spent 5 years behind bars, her trial postponed 6 times. Every day that went by, it was a tougher case, lamented prosecutor Dave Aronberg. Witnesses die, memories fade, evidence spoils. But for Joe Arens, Marlene's son, the wait was agonizing. That was the end of something so huge that grew for 33 years of my life, he shared emotionally. Despite efforts to navigate through decades of accumulated evidence, defense attorney Greg Rosenfeld faced obstacles, including a lack of cooperation from the state. Evidence kept disappearing, Rosenfeld revealed, underscoring the challenges they encountered. Then, in a surprising turn, just as another trial date approached in October 2022, a crucial piece of evidence resurfaced, the clown sighting file. It was located, not with the Sheila Keene clown murder boxes, recall the lithium acrobats, but actually a file out of place. The discovery of this file, containing 35 tips of alleged clown sightings, offered new avenues for investigation. Rosenfeld seized on the opportunity, but with the case inching towards trial, the delays took their toll on both sides. For prosecutors, each passing day brought new challenges. Every day that went by, it was a tougher case, noted Aaron Berg. The death of a key witness and concerns about evidence integrity further complicated matters. You had some real potential for reasonable doubt, admitted Aaron Berg. Amidst mounting pressure and uncertainty, a plea deal emerged as a solution. On April 25, 2023, just 2 weeks before trial, Sheila Keene Warren agreed to plead guilty to second-degree murder in exchange for a 12-year prison sentence. It was a far cry from the death penalty she once faced. "We had to make a judgment based on what we had," Aaron Berg explained. "The worst thing that could happen would be that Sheila Keene Warren would be found not guilty." The plea deal marked the end of a long and painful journey for Joe Arens and others affected by Marlene Warren's murder. While not entirely satisfying, it offered closure. "Finally, you know?" It was few, Arens expressed with relief. But for Sheila Keene Warren, the admission of guilt came with a heavy burden. Sheila did not commit this murder, Rosenfeld insisted, though legally she now bore the label of a convicted murderer. As Keene Warren prepares to serve her sentence, her husband Michael Warren stands by her side, unwavering in his belief of her innocence. "My wife did not commit this crime," he asserted, reflecting on the difficult decision to accept the plea deal. Despite the guilty plea, questions linger and wounds remain unhealed. Yet, for Joe Arens and others touched by Marlene Warren's life, there is a sense of closure, a bittersweet conclusion to a decades-long quest for justice.